Hey there and welcome to Inside Butler Football. I'm your host, Bree Seaver. The Butler football team delivered another solid performance this weekend, defeating conference opponent Davidson 31-20. In a second, we'll be joined by Butler head football coach Jeff Forrest to talk about last week's game and take a look at the games ahead. Stay with us on Inside Butler Football. Welcome you back to Inside Butler Football. Butler head football coach Jeff Forrest joins me today. Coach, thanks for coming.
Great to be here.
So, Butler played in a close game against Davidson for relatively the entire 60 minutes of the football game. And Butler did a good job responding when Davidson challenged them, but it seemed as if they really only made those big plays when Davidson really pushed them to. In your opinion, would you say the guys played a little inconsistently by not definitively pulling away and increasing the scoring margin when they had opportunities to do so?
I think it was your typical PFL game. You get into those games and both teams are going to make plays at certain times. A lot of them come down to, who's playing harder and, what kind of confidence you have at the end of the game. So I don't know if it was so much our inconsistency of them just being well prepared and playing hard too as old-fashioned PFL football game.
Now let's talk a little bit about the Butler defense. They turned in less than 100 yards rushing, but gave up somewhere around 296 passing yards. So coming into the final two games of the season, what is the Butler defense going to have to do to improve in the pass defense category?
Well, I think one thing you look at is who you were playing. Davidson was a pass-first team. We held them right basically at their average for points and yards per game. So I thought we played pretty well against a good team. They got the leading receiver in the league. Their scheme is good. They take advantage of a lot of things. So I think we hung in there pretty well. And the biggest thing on defense is, capping the field and making them line up again and, play another play. And for the most part, we did that all day. And like you said, we handled the run at times really well. And, they got off the field and, held them right at their average. So, we were pleased with how the defense played, but you're always looking for improvements, and we're definitely going to have to improve moving forward.
Mm-hmm. Now, Trey Heater had 231 yards and 2 touchdowns, and because of this, he's now the PFL's first 1,000-yard rusher for this football season. And he also becomes Butler's first 1,000-yard rusher since 1998, I believe. So how important is it to have a strong running game, strong running backs like Trey to have a successful multi-dimensional offense?
Yeah, I think it all starts up front with the run. If you can control a line of scrimmage and run the ball, it opens up so much more as far as your playbook and play action pass, and you really can dictate, your plan as far as pass run, ratios. So that's critical, and it all starts up front. And really, Trey, you tip your hat to him as he's carried the load because we've really been banged up at running back. We have some guys behind Trey that would have played and are going to be available to play moving forward that would have helped him carry that load. But with the guys banged up and hurt, Trey's had to carry the load. He's done a great job, and it's opened up because of our ability to throw it and because of the job the line's been doing. 11 guys working together have created that 1,000-yard rusher, and Trey's had a great year so far. Knock on wood, we'll keep rolling.
Yep, absolutely. Now we're going to take a look at some highlights from the game. This first one is a fumble recovery made by redshirt sophomore Christian Ebel. Can you talk about this play and how it impacted the game?
Well, it was a tight ball game at this point. I think it was 10-7, and the biggest thing with turnovers is they're momentum plays, and they shorten the field for the offense. Christian did a nice job, and I think Kyle Annis was in there to help soften it up, and then Christian ripped it out and gave the offense a short field. They were able to go down and score. So that was a big turning point to make it a 2-score game at that point.
This next one is a sack by Jordan Ridley and Glenn Summers, followed by a pick from safety David Burke. Now, how important were these two plays for Butler?
Well, the game's still in a balance here at the end, and we hadn't been doing a real good job of getting off the field on third down, and this is a 3rd and 1 late. We're up 2 scores, but you can see they're driving, and that sack then forced them to to have to go for it on 4th down where this play occurs. And, you know, David does a great job. We closed the middle of the field, might have caught him by surprise, and David picked it off. Now, probably situationally should have knocked it down, which was the first thing he said when he got to the sidelines. But, you know, he made it work out and ran it back past the line of scrimmage and basically set the offense up to in a 4-minute offense situation and to run the clock out.
Now, this next one is JT Mesh's 32-yard touchdown reception in the second quarter that came after a fumble recovery. I mean, he had a good game with 4 catches for 121 yards. Can you talk about his playmaking abilities?
Yeah, that play right there was off of the turnover, and it's, you know, playing complementary football when the defense shortens the field for you. It's great to answer and create, you know, that, you know, keep that momentum going on both sides of the ball. His biggest play of the game was in the fourth quarter when we had kind of been stopped on a couple drives and they closed the margin on us. He made a big post catch in the fourth quarter that led to another touchdown drive.
This last highlight is a pass to freshman Marquise Martin-Hayes. This kind of helped Butler secure the lead, moving ahead by 11 points. And this is his first collegiate touchdown. So how great is it to see an underclassman gain experience like this?
Yeah, I mean, we've been young from the start. You know, it's we're going to talk about the seniors here in a little bit, but we don't have a lot of upperclassmen. We're playing a lot of young guys, and at this point of the season, you know, those guys aren't freshmen anymore. They've been in camp since August. They've played nearly a full schedule and have been in practices. So, you know, the young guys are ready, and when opportunities provide them, that's the thing you're most proud about is when the opportunity was provided. You know, he came through. So we got a lot of guys like Marquise.
All right, well, there's certainly a lot more to the Butler football program than meets the eye. Our reporter, Ari Castle, takes us behind the scenes to see the football support staff that helps the Butler team keep going from week after week.
As equipment managers, we have 5 basic areas that we handle. We do the ordering and purchasing for the teams. We do the fitting of equipment. As equipment managers, we have 5 basic areas that we handle. We do the ordering and purchasing for the teams. We do the fitting of equipment. We do the maintenance, which includes fixing helmets, doing laundry, which is a big chunk of the job. We do management of some of the student workers. Yes, we do everything. Basically, they turn in a loop, and their loop will include everything from their jersey, some t-shirts, girdle, everything like this. They turn this in, it has their number on it. We'll wash it and dry it. And afterwards, we put it back in this box, which is like a P.O. box type thing. They have a combination on one side, we just throw it in from the back. They have practice pants and also socks, which we put on the pin, also has their number on it.
Laundry. They're going all day long. Basically, our washing machines and dryers go from 7:30 in the morning, or 6 if we have to come in early, till 11 o'clock at night. So they go all the time, and we really have a system down. Scott showed you straps, pins. Each team has a separate color, so we can keep track. The kids at night know what goes where. We put everything back. Football's the only team that we have lockers that we put them into down here. Otherwise, we go to the different locker rooms. On a scholarship, they love the game. It's for the passion of the game, and it's just really fun to see their enthusiasm and how hard these guys work. People don't realize how much work football is. I've gotten cards, I've gotten notes from kids that say, you know, you're always kind of behind the scenes, and thank you for what you've done. It's definitely an underappreciated by many, but I think everyone here in Hinkle knows what we do. I don't feel underappreciated. I think the perception is, oh, you know, they're just down there slaving. Nah, I have a lot of fun. I wouldn't be doing it if I didn't have fun.
We welcome you back to the Get to Know Your Bulldogs segment of the show. This week we're joined by senior running back David Thomas, who joins us now. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
So where are you from?
I'm from Chicago, Illinois.
And what high school did you go to?
I went to a small high school in Winnetka, Illinois called North Shore Country Day.
And when did you first start playing football?
I actually first started playing football my freshman year of high school. I wanted to play before that, but my mom was really scared about injuries and stuff like that, so I finally convinced her right when I got into high school, and I've loved it ever since.
Well, that's a late start.
Yeah, it was pretty late for most players.
Now, coming out of high school, what were your top college choices? Who was actively pursuing you?
Because I went to such a small school, it was kind of tough to get recruited, but it finally started to pick up my senior year, and I started getting recruited by schools like Georgetown and Lehigh, some of the Patriot League schools, and then some of the Pioneer League schools started to come in the mix. And Butler, I was waiting to hear from them, and finally heard from them, and those were really the schools. So Lehigh, Georgetown, and Butler.
Now, what made Butler stand out from those other schools that you just mentioned?
I think just where it's located, Indianapolis. I wanted to be kind of close to home, and Chicago's not too far away, as well as the Butler business program. That was really big for me. I knew that I wanted to be in business, so I wanted to do that. And just the football program in general, just everything about Butler, I liked it a lot.
Now, when you came on your first official visit and you were able to meet the guys, what really made you want to be a part of the team?
I realized that the players here worked really hard. On my official visit, I actually got to go down to the weight room and actually watch a lift and meet Coach Peel. And it was the max out day for cleans, and guys were just getting after it, working really hard. And that was something that really caught my eye. And just meeting the guys, eating with them and stuff like that, they were really down to earth, and I could appreciate that. So
they were really motivated guys?
Oh, absolutely. They were, that senior class, the next year was a great class, and they were juniors at that point, so I was around them a lot, and it was great.
Now, being a student athlete at Butler, you know it isn't easy. I mean, you're always really busy. How do you find time to manage your athletics and your studies? What kind of resources does the Butler football team provide you?
Well, initially coming in, we have study tables. So freshman year, right off the bat, they kind of get you into it, let you see how it is to, give you time to do your studies as well as athletics, and then you just kind of build off that. It's really different for every guy. Some guys use planners, some guys just kind of know what they have to do. I'm more of a planner guy, but you have to pretty much plan out most of your time before you can, get to athletics and things like that.
Well, in addition to being a student and an athlete, you're also involved in Athletes in Action. Can you tell me a little bit about what that is?
Athletes in Action is a organization run by Doug Leatherman, who is a guy that's helping Butler with things of religion and things like that. And it's just really a great support system for guys and really all athletes, but especially for our guys. We do it on Fridays for home games and actually away. Myself and Thad Satry, a junior linebacker, run those sessions, and it's really just kind of go over some things in the Bible, and it's just a way for guys to talk about how they're feeling, if they're so choose to speak up about religion and stuff. And it's it's all completely voluntary, so it's a good thing, and it's a really great resource for our football players.
Great. Now, as you look back at your whole career, what has been one of the most memorable moments of Butler football for you?
It's really tough to pick just one. Over 4 years, you have quite a bit. But I'd say it's hard to narrow down just one. Mm-hmm. So I'll say two if that's okay.
Yeah.
Definitely winning the PFL in 2009 was a great experience. I was a redshirt freshman at that point, so I didn't get to play, but on the scout team, and just learning how to win, coming in right away. And then our homecoming win this year was great. It was actually my 22nd birthday, so it was a great gift for me. Mm-hmm. That comeback win, it was awesome.
That's awesome. Now, what are you going to take away from the Butler football program after you graduate?
I think the one thing that I'll take away is just going about things the right way. And I know everyone always talks about the Butler way, but that really is kind of how we go about our program, is always doing things the right way. So whether that's taking care of school or, really getting into the office about football or things like that, just trying to do things the right way and having success with that as well is also really, really great for us. So I definitely say the Butler way.
Now, how would you best describe your time that you've spent as part of the Butler program?
It's been amazing. I think that being a student athlete here, especially on the football program has made me a better man. I think that just being around these guys, they're all humble, they're all hard workers, and just that camaraderie with those guys, I've made some of the best friends that I'll ever have here, and I'll always take that away.
Now, as you get ready to exit the program, what kind of words of wisdom and advice would you leave for underclassmen or possible incoming recruits?
I would definitely say just soak it all in. Don't take anything for granted. You're only here for 4 years, and even though, it might seem like a long time, it goes really quick. So just enjoy every game, every snap, every time that you get to step on that field, because there's times where you may not get that chance again, and there's so many people who wish that they could play football or play sports, and to make it to a Division I college and play sports is a great opportunity. So I would say just don't take it for granted.
Absolutely. Well, good luck with the rest of your season.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thanks for coming in. All right, after this, we're going to take a look at next week's game against Jacksonville. Stay with us on Inside Butler Football. Back here on Inside Butler Football. Now, it's no doubt that the Jacksonville team is going to be a good team and that you're going to have to prepare pretty well and have a good week of practice this week for your game on Saturday. Now, with a similar situation to this season, back in 2009, Butler was undefeated in conference. Then they played Jacksonville in the second to the last game of the season, and they lost. With that previous experience in mind, how are you and the team going to approach this week, knowing that you have the potential this season to change the pattern?
We're going to go back and prepare the same way we've done the first 9 weeks. Do the things that have gotten us here, keep believing in what we're doing and be who we are. Now we understand we got a really good opponent coming in. They've been at the top of the league for a lot of years. They're well coached, have great schemes and outstanding football players. So we understand we have a challenge, but we got to start all over at 0-0. I mean, very, very few players we got today were here in 09. I don't even remember 09. It's been so long ago. So, I mean, we got to go back and say, hey, what do we do on Monday to get ready? Can we outwork them today, and can we focus on the things that are important and take the week and break it down and make the big things small and get rid of the distractions and focus on our job and preparing so that our teammates can trust us and we can play fast, and we're just going to keep doing what we've been doing.
All right. Well, Jacksonville is number one in the PFL for total defense and pass defense. So what is the offense going to have to do to counteract their strengths in the defensive game?
Well, we're going to have to prepare well and understand, their tendencies. There's no question they're a good football team on all three phases. Now we're not just talking defense. They can throw it around and run it and play special teams with the best of them. So there's a challenge across the board for all groups as far as preparation. It all comes back to studying and getting your mind and body ready to go for Saturday noon.
Now, in last year's game against Jacksonville, the team came out really strong with a lead at halftime. They kept that lead until midway through the third quarter, and then it went the other way. Coming with that experience and coming back from a fourth quarter deficit in the Butler's homecoming game just 2 weeks ago, do you think your team has learned from the shortcomings of last season and applied them to this year?
Well, I think we definitely play a much better 60-minute game, and we've done that consistently throughout the year, and we did it again last Saturday. If we don't play a 60-minute game Saturday, that one probably doesn't come out the way it does. So, that's the thing, is to have the mental toughness to understand that when you kick it off, good, bad, or indifferent, you can't win fast, but you got to play for 60 minutes because you never know when the key plays are going to come. So, and a lot of that's done in preparation. The score takes care of itself if you do the things during the week to get yourself ready to go. So it's back to square one. It's back to winning on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and getting yourself ready mentally and physically for Saturday. And then you just got to play the situation and keep plugging away and understanding that the most important play is the play you're on, and line up for 60 minutes and see how it all shakes out. Absolutely.
Now, it's also exciting because it's family weekend and senior day for the Jacksonville game. But most of this year's senior class was redshirted. But how does that impact your program, knowing that there's the potential for a lot of these guys to return for next year's season?
Well, you kind of look at that as the season ends. Right now we're focused on what can we do this week to get ready. We understand that there's a handful of guys or more that could come back for a fifth year. Those decisions are made down the road. Our feeling is like, if a guy's eligible to come back, we'd love to have him back. There's no question. But those decisions are made down the road, and right now we got a bunch of guys that are focused on Jacksonville and this Saturday.
Right. Now, in this year's senior class, there's about 7 as of now that will be graduating. But these players have really played a pivotal role in the program at helping to evolve Butler football, especially when they won in 2009 the PFL championship. So, what are you going to miss about this exiting senior class? What's special about them?
Well, I mean, I think the biggest thing about this group is their passion for football and their love of Butler. You know, I think they truly are student athletes. They're great people. They care about the Butler community and representing Butler the right way. And you know, there's a whole mix of guys there as far as the amount they've played and you know, what they've done on the field. But the biggest thing to me that I'll remember is that, you know, the type of people they are and how they've affected the Butler community, and how they, you know, not only, you know, on the football field but in the classroom and in the community have done it the Butler way.
How important has their leadership been on the team?
I mean, it's been outstanding. I think you see it week to week as we've gone through the season, and you know, a lot of those things that we were doing really well, and are being able to focus and being able to consistently prepare, and being you know, mentally tough enough no matter which way the ball bounces to stay in the game and focus on the play. You know, a lot of those things, you know, come from the players, you know, in the huddle on the sidelines as much as they do a coach in the meeting room or something. So yeah, you definitely tip your hat to them. They've done an outstanding job.
All right, well, thanks, Coach. Good luck this week.
Appreciate it.
That will do it for this week's episode of Inside Butler Football. Thanks for watching.